Good afternoon, students. In morning sessions, we studied about sole proprietor. That is, what is the meaning of sole proprietor, the characteristics of sole proprietorship, and advantages as well as disadvantages of sole proprietorship. Now, we are going to see about the fifth lesson, Hindu joint into family as well as the partnership. That is, Hindu undivided family and partnership. Okay, what is the meaning of in this topic? We are going to see about the definitions of partnership, that is meaning of partnership, types of partner, as well as the meaning of Hindu undivided family. Hindu undivided family as well as joint into family are both one and the same. Okay, so today in afternoon session we are going to see these topics.
Forms of business organizations. So in this forms of business organization, in fourth lesson we finished about sole proprietorship. The second non-corporate forms of business organization is Hindu undivided family or joint into family and partnership. So what is the meaning of Hindu undivided family? So a joint into family is a distinct form of organization peculiar to India, that is it is prevail in India only. Okay, this type of business is carried out in India only. The business of joint into family is controlled under the Hindu law. Okay, so the members in this form of business organization can be acquired only by birth. That is, the family members are allowed to take part in the business. Okay, to carry out the business. That is, they only may join as a member of this join into family. Okay, by birth itself they acquired the membership of the business. Okay, so join into family is first, it is created by law. It is prevail only in India and it is controlled under the Hindu law. Okay, what is the meaning of join into family? When two or more families agree to live and work together, invest their resources and labor jointly. That is, two or more family agree to live and work together, invest their resources and labor jointly and share the profit and losses together. Then this family is known as join into family or Hindu undivided family. Okay, here the main person, that is the person who is managing the business, is known as Karta. The others are known as the co-parser. Okay, so here they said about one example, C. Roy and Co. That is a chartered accountant firm. There are two schools of Hindu law. One is Dayabaksha, which is prevalent in Bengal and Assam, and the other one is Mitakshara, prevalent in the rest of the country. Okay, according to this Mitakshara law, there is a son right by birth in the property of the joint family. Characteristics of joint into family. The main characteristic of joint into family are given as: one is it is governed by Hindu law. Okay, the main first character is it is governed by Hindu law. That is, according to the Hindu laws, the control and management of the business is carried out according to the Hindu laws, procedure, rules and regulations. The next one is management. So all the affairs of the joint into family are controlled and managed by the person known as Karta, who is a senior-most person in the family, and the full control is vested with him. The other members are having faith and confidence in Karta. Only the Karta is entitled to deal with outsiders. Okay, so permission of the Karta, other members having dealing with the outsiders sometimes. Then membership by birth. Here the member of the family can be acquired only by birth. As soon as the child is born in the family, the child becomes the member or he requires the membership without any consent of the others. Okay, the next one is about liability. Here there are two types of liability. One is Karta liability and another one is membership liability. The liability of the Karta is unlimited, whereas the liability of the member is limited one. The next one is about permanent existence. After the death of the family or insolvency of any member of the family, it does not affect the business, because other members are carried out the business with the help of the Karta. If the Karta is died, in such a case, the other members become the next senior-most members become the Karta of the family, and he is managing the business afterwards. Okay, then next we are going to see about the implied authority of karta. So in joint into family, only karta has the implied authority to enter into a contract for debts as well as pledge the property of the firm. Okay, then minor also a co-partner, because by birth itself they become the member of the family. Therefore a newborn baby can be a co-partner. Therefore minor also a co-partner of the joint into family. Then dissolution. What is meant by dissolution? Closing of the business. That is, joint into family can be dissolved only at the will of all the members of the family. That is, if all the members are accepting the dissolution of the firm, then only they dissolve the business. So any single member has no right to get the business dissolved. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the business. Next we are going to see about the meaning and definitions of partnership. So partnership is nothing but when two or more person entering into a business, carrying out a business with a common, that is lawful business. So here sole proprietorship is, in case of sole proprietorship, only one person is carrying out the business, where in case of partnership the minimum number required to carry out the partnership firm is 2, maximum is 20 in the case of banking business, 10 in the case of banking business, and 20 in the case of other business. So this is the points relating to partnership. The partners who enter into the partnership are individually called as partners, and they are collectively known as firm. Okay, according to the Partnership Act 1932, partnership is the relation between person, that is between two or more person who have agreed to share the profit. They are sharing their profit and losses equally of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. That is, they carry out the business by all, or sometimes any one of them acting as a manager for that business. Therefore, according to this act, partnership is nothing but it is a relation between two or more person who have agreed to share the profit and losses equally or according to their ratio. Okay, then here some definitions are given. Definitions of proof. It is the relationship with the exists between person competent to make contact who agree to carry on lawful business. Listen here, the business should be lawful. Okay, then only it is a partnership business in concern with the view of the private gain to earning profit. Okay, next we are going to see about the characteristics of partnership. So here there is a contractual relationship. That is, partnership is a result of an agreement. So the agreement may be oral or written. It is according to their view. Okay, it may be oral or it may be written, but it is a result of an agreement. So consequently, person not competent to contact, that is, a minor cannot become a partner, but in some cases it is allowed with the consent of other partners. Then plurality of business. Partnership is plural form. That is, here the single person is running a business means it is a sole trader business, but here two or more person are joining, and the minimum number is here 2, and they are carrying out a business. So and the maximum is 10, restricted to 10 in case of banking business and 20 in all other cases. Then existence of business. Partnership agreement must be carried out lawful business. The partnership should be carrying out a lawful business. So if there is no business, there can be no partnership. So in other words, partnership is not a club or a charitable association, it is a business. Sharing profit and losses. Here the partners are sharing the profit and losses according to their agreement. If the agreement doesn't say about the profit and losses, in such a case they are sharing the profit and losses equally. Okay, so here they are carrying out the business in profit motive. Then mutual agency. So it is the essence of partnership. The business is to be carried out on by all or any of them acting for all. Each partner acts simultaneously as a principal and an agent. That is, each and everyone acts as a principal as well as agent. Okay, so to the outsider he is the principal, while to the other partner he is an agent. Okay, on behalf of other partners he is acting as an principal. Okay, so this is the mutual agency recording the characteristics of partnership firm. So we can see 5 characteristics of partnership firm. One is contractual relationship, then plurality of business, existence of business, sharing profit, mutual agencies. Then we are going to see about the advantages of partnership firm. So it is easy to form a partnership firm if two person is enough to carry out a partnership firm with an agreement if they are having an efficient fund. Then availability of larger resources, because in partnership firm the minimum is 2, maximum is 10 in case of banking business and 20 in other cases. In such a case, each and every partners are contributing their capital, so the capital amount is huge compared to sole trader business. So availability of large resources is one of the advantages of a partnership firm. The next one is about benefit of consultations. So if any matter, in all the matter they are discussing with other person, other partner to take a better decision. So this is one of the benefits of partnership firm. The next one is division of work. Here there are more than 2 persons. In such a case, they are carrying out the work by way of dividing the work among themselves. Okay, according to their efficiency, they are dividing their work. Efficiency and experience and knowledge and taste, they are dividing their work. For example, one partner can look after purchases, another sales, yet another accounting, etc. Like that, they are dividing their work. Therefore, the burden is lightened and supervision by each partner over allocated area. The work also efficient because they are carrying out that specialized work. Therefore, it is efficient one. So division of work and greater managerial efficiency is one of the advantages of partnership firm. Okay, so next we are going to see about the next advantages. Reduced risk. Here the risk is reduced because here they said that there are more persons are carrying the business, therefore the risk is reduced here. So the risk of each partner is considerably reduced since the loss is sustained by many partners here. Okay, so the partners are sharing the loss here, therefore the risk is reduced. The next one is about unlimited liability and credit standingness. The liability of the partner is unlimited since apart from his business assets, his private assets also liable for the debt. So unlimited liability is one of the advantages of partnership firm. The next one is safeguard of minority interest. For all vital matters, unlimited consent of each partner is required. There is no anonymity. Such decision is taken. The next one is about easy dissolutions. So dissolution of partnership. What is meant by dissolution? Closing of business. Here easy dissolution is possible. They can dissolve the firm according to the consent of other partners. The next one is about disadvantages. So there are nearly 7 advantages we can see here. One is about easy formations. The another one is about benefit of consultations. The next one is availability of large resources. The third one, division of work. Next one is reduced risk. Next, unlimited liability and credit standingness. Safeguard of the minority interest, easy dissolutions. So all those things are advantages. The next we are going to see about the disadvantages of partnership firm. The first disadvantages is about lack of harmony. So lack of harmony is the first disadvantages here. After a few years of working a functions, disharmonies may creep in because each and every partner having some ideas about the partnerships. So sometimes it may lead to lack of harmony. Lack of harmony. This is one of the disadvantages of partnership business. Okay, so lack of harmony is one of the disadvantages of partnership business. The next one is about absence of legal status and instability. So absence of legal status and instability is one of the disadvantages. Okay, so joint stock company, absence of legal status and instability. Okay, so here there is no legal status recording the dissolution of partnership. Before that we are going to see about registration, then partnership by profit only, types of partners, and a partnership at will. These are the types of partners. Then we are going to see about the disadvantages here. The next one is duties of partners. So duty to carry on business, duty to be true, and duty to be render a true accounts, duty to indemnify the firm, duty to share the losses, duty to claim remuneration, duty to not to use firm's property for personal use. So the duty to not to carry on competing business, and a duty to act within the scope of his authority, duty to consult with the other partners before assigning or transferring his interest in partnership. So these are the duties of partnership firm. Next one is about liability of partner. So the joint and several liability. Each and every partner is jointly and severally liable for the debt of the firms in case any bad debts occurs. Okay. Then liable for any loss to third party. So if the loss occurs, the firm is liable for any loss caused to third party because of a wrongful act in the ordinary course of business. Then the liability to third party to make good loss, where a partner receives money or property from the third party on behalf of the firm, then the firm is liable to make good loss. So these are the liabilities of the partnership firm. Next one is about the types of partner. So the types of partners here, the first one is about active partner. Active partner, a partner who takes an active part in the conduct of the partnership business is known as active partner. Though every partner is entitled to manage its affairs, all may not do so. That is, a partner who is taking active part, that is the person who is carrying out all the activities and controls the business, is known as a active partner. The next one is sleeping partner. Sleeping partner, he doesn't contribute any capital, but he contributes capital only, but he does not take part in the management of the business. In such a case, he is known as sleeping or dormant partner. Then nominal partner, he doesn't contribute neither capital or manage the business. He only lend his name to the firm, because on the strength of his names and reputation, the outside the firm may attract additional business and raise funds easily. So this is about nominal partner. The next one is about, here the types of partners are sleeping partner, nominal partner, secret partner, partner by profit only, partner by external, partner by holding out, and minor partner. Minor also becomes the partner of the business. Partner in profit only. In this type of partners taking part in only in the profit, they are not sharing losses. Okay, so they are profit comes, then only they are sharing their profit. They are not taking any part in the loss of the business. Partner by external, a person represents himself in his words or action. He is allowed him to represented as a partner of the firm, even though he is not a partner. He is called by partner by external. Then secret partner. A secret partner is one whose association is not known to the general public. That is, he is acting as a partner secretly. Other than this distinct feature, the rest of the partner, he is like the rest of the other partners. Then minor partner. Sometimes with the consent of the other partners, the minor also become the partner of the business. Okay, so this is about the partner by, that is minor also become a partner. Next is registration. So the registration according to the Indian Partnership Act, does not make the registration of partnership compulsory. Okay, that is, it is optional. If they think, then they may register it, or otherwise it is optional one. So procedure for the registration is, the statement should be prepared stating the following particulars, that is name of the firm, principal of the place of the business, name of the other places, name and address of other partner, all the partners, duration, date, all those things are mentioned in the statement. Then drawbacks of registration of partnership. Non-registration of partnership. If the partnership is not registered, these are the following drawbacks they have to face. That they have no right to file suit against others, and a right to third parties to sue the firm, a right to use sue for right arising. So these are the drawbacks of non-registration of partnership firm. Then dissolution of partners. So D is death of partner. Dissolution is carried out in the following cases. In case of death of the partner, incapacity of partner, stipulated period is over, serious misconduct of a partner, object is completed, lunacy of a partner, unavoidable continuous loss, transfer of interest of the firm, insolvency of the partner, objectionable unlawful objectives, notice of dissolution of by partnerships. These are the period during which the partnership going into dissolution. So dissolution partnership can be the following form: change in the existing profit, admission, retirement, insolvency, expiry of the term, completion of the specified venture, and dissolution by agreement. Next, dissolution of partnership firm is taken out without the order of the court, or with the consent by the order of the court. So without the order of the court, it may be happen by agreement of mutual consent of all the partners, by insolvency of all the partners but one, when the objective becomes illegal one. That is, the object of the business is illegal, by notice of dissolution on certain contingencies. Okay, so these are the dissolution without the consent of court. Decision through court may be when a partner become insane, permanent incapacity of any partner, misconduct of any partner, breach of agreement, transfer of interest of third person, continuous loss, when the court finds that it is just, it is equitable to dissolve the firms. So this is about the dissolution of partnership. After seeing this link, do the assignment work which is given as a assignment patch in your PDF. Thank you, students.